Hey everyone, JagTagger93 here with another fresh Doom mod to review. This one is called Dark Labs. It is a September 2018 map from Carlos Lastra. According to the README file, the author's intention behind this map was to learn how to use custom textures for Doom. So this WOD really was a learning experience for the author. They used converted Doom 3 textures from HidFan. Link to that in the description along with the WOD. So right off the bat, I gotta say, good job Carlos. I really enjoyed how you used the drab industrial Doom 3 walls and panels here to convincingly construct a research facility. Your use of lighting really pairs well with it, and there's a real nice realistic and grimy aesthetic to this one. I would have liked to see, however, more set pieces inside these rooms and corridors. Things like corpses and dead space marines to really build upon the theme of a dilapidated research facility. It'd be very fitting, I believe, to have those little simple touches here and there. The architecture to this WOD is pretty solid. Rooms and hallways have believable dimensions, but they also provide the medium for some really interesting combat encounters. I really enjoyed the enemy placement in this one, and while I understand it's a matter of personal taste, I applaud the author for not having any of the predictable and overused item key traps. Now you know what I mean, where you grab a key card or some other important item, and a bunch of monsters just teleport right into the room. Now sure, there's a time and place to do stuff like that, but so many authors over the years have overused it again and again, and it really stinks when it happens without any kind of build-up or doesn't really fit the theme of the WOD. Now I actually prefer in realism maps if the author avoids using this thing entirely, and instead have all the monsters evenly distributed throughout the facility. Okay, well not evenly, but distributed in a way that makes sense. For example, more human-like enemies at the beginning, because the Marines came in and they were quickly dispatched and became zombies, increasing threats the deeper you get in, and so on. Yeah, I prefer that, and it really helps build upon the illusion of a dilapidated facility that's full of shambling demons and ambling monsters in the corridors, like they have some own purpose there in story beyond just being targets for the player to shoot at. Now please, don't misunderstand what I'm trying to say here. That doesn't mean you can't have any monster traps or ambushes, but there are ways to do it in a map, and creative ways and good ways. You know, be creative with it. Don't just have the majority of demon killing being from monsters that teleported into different rooms again and again. New Doom, take note. I don't want to go on a tangent here, but that's one of my gripes with New Doom. The overemphasis on having monsters teleport into rooms instead of being laid out through a facility. You know, when enemy placement in a map resembles something like a planned D&D dungeon, where enemies are carefully placed before even the players start playing, instead of just appearing out of nowhere again and again in different rooms, like in a Call of Duty game, then I'm a very happy man. Anyway, this map is mostly linear. You were able to grab keys in different order, but it doesn't really make much of a difference at all. Also, there's a gap you need to hop across towards the end of the map, but it's fairly obvious what you have to do when you have to do it, and it's really not too difficult of a hop. The gameplay itself is nicely paced, but unfortunately, and this is really one of the map's biggest faults in my opinion, it is much too simple. Even on Ultra Violence, experienced players will really have no trouble at all blazing through this one. Just don't get too careless. Make sure you check those corners. Enemies are carefully and smartly placed in corridors and in nooks and crannies where they can get at you, especially chain gunners. But just be smart about it, and you'll have a pretty simple experience with this one. The secrets are all fairly easy to find as well, and unfortunately they make this mildly challenging map into a real cakewalk, especially with a plasma rifle, which really isn't necessary at all here. Now I understand it's a really fine line with secrets. Usually you want your secrets to feel very rewarding to the player, but at the same time you don't want to ruin the intended experience of your map by making things too easy upon discovering these secrets. Now I understand that line. I'm just saying this map would benefit if it was just a bit more challenging, maybe less ammunition, maybe less ammo dropping enemies, more of an emphasis on kiting enemies into projectiles. I mean, heck, with the abundance of soldiers in this map, an archvile would have been nice, but whatever. All in all, Dark Labs is a fun, atmospheric map that leans a bit on the easy side, and that is why I give it a very low, but good score, a low 7 out of 10. Now give this one a shot, and if you agree if it's too easy, play it a bit on Nightmare mode, which I actually found surprisingly fun. And really that's all I have to say about this one. Thank you all so much for watching. Now if you liked it, please let me know with a thumbs up. Comments are always appreciated. I always love communicating with other players out there. Subscribe if you want. but most of all, thank you so much for watching. This is JagTagger93 signing out. You go on and have a good one.